Amazing the gift God graced me with. Took me all around the world, put gold on my wrist. Did a couple shows for these hoes on my dick. I just do it for the city, Motown in this bitch. See me in the party, then you know I'm with the shits. I'm a wizard making magic, nigga. Here's a couple tricks. Y'all don't want no problems. How I came from the bottom. And even if we at the top, you can get to that pop. Hey, there you go, my guy. Song just dropped.
Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to OLTP Season 9, Playoffs Week 1. I have Al Fitzo here with me in the commentary box.
Yo, how are you doing, everyone? Sorry, Vin, I was a little late to the party. Alright, we got two great teams on tonight. We have PINKSMEN and EMILIA CLARKE. So, they've struggled a little bit throughout the regular season, both of these teams, but definitely looking on form as we the important part of the season. And with us in the commentary room as well is Azpilaqueta, who has failed to hit that intro. So, team lineups tonight on PINKSMEN team. We have Pinkman, obviously, Mayo, those two killer offense. Hopefully they can make some stuff happen on some relatively defensive maps tonight. And then on the other side, we have Drink, Bleach, and Dilza playing defense. And then over to Dokugan's sides. Dokugan's paired up with Balakwa on defense. And opposite that, we have Acti and Ballis playing offense. Very quality sides. How are we doing, Aspi?
Hello, I'm doing excellent. I just finished my dinner, and I'm excited to watch a great game of Tag Pro.
Good to hear, good to hear. Who do you think's the stronger of the two tonight?
Oh, I'm really excited about this game because I think both teams are very evenly matched.
Very good fence sitter right there.
At the moment, I'd probably go for EMILIA CLARKE, to be honest.
Alright. Vin, any sway either way?
I'm liking the experience of PINKSMEN's team. It's going to be interesting to see Lucchini match up against Bleach and Dilza with Acti. I think that'll be the key matchup.
Very nice, very nice. And the maps that we have tonight, a little bit unfortunate on this side. We do have some great players, maybe not so exciting maps to watch. Starting off with Star, the all-time classic. That's going to be followed up by Iron, and then provided a decision can't be made between those two games, we're going to go to Scorpio for our final map. Teams are just in the final minutes of their preparation now, so we're almost ready to get underway.
And why I think those two teams are evenly matched, I feel like they have similar strengths and weaknesses. So in terms of the offense, I think both teams are very good offenses. But in terms of defense, I think both teams have struggled to keep the flag in base in a lot of games. And I think which defense can step up tonight, I'd probably say Bleach. Bleach's defense, he always steps it up in the playoffs, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has a monster performance tonight.
Yeah, and some classic maps to get him started as well. You'd think he'd be relatively confident on Star and Iron, two maps he'd know very well. I don't think you can count out EMILIA CLARKE though. I think they've got a strong team all around, definitely minimal weaknesses, and you never know sometimes what Dokugan can do, and could definitely hopefully pull it out and get to another Premier Ball. And how do you think Dilza's played this season, Aspi? Obviously, he's probably the weaker player on that strong team.
For Dilza, it's a bit hard to analyze. I think he's been okay. Like, I wouldn't say good or so, but I think he's maybe struggled a little bit because Bleach isn't your conventional type of defender. And you need to be really adaptive and really smart with the decision making when playing with a player like Bleach to get the best out of the pairing, which I'm not sure he's capable of just yet. So I think he has struggled a bit, but in the last few weeks he has done a bit better.
Yeah, he actually reached out to me after the first week asking how he should go about playing with Bleach. But he's definitely shown an improvement in that as the season's gone on. I think it's just something you need a bit of experience with.
And what do you think of Dokkan and Blackwell? This is their second season on defense together, I believe. Is that correct, from last season?
Vin? Did Dokugan and Blackwell play together last season? No. Alright, do you have any other points, Aspie?
Last season. Did he quit?
Nuga's even saying it in chat. Yes, that was season 7. So maybe let's assume Aspie's right. I definitely I think that they make a relatively good pairing, to be honest. I don't think they make too many mistakes. It's just maybe not the strongest players, but I think as a tandem that they do really, really well. Looks like we're getting underway here. As we said, first game is going to be on Star. So look for either a complete defensive shutout or a hold fest.
Not both, I think so.
Of course, the winner of this game will go on to play NIP in the preliminary final. I'm sure Vin has that on stream for you all. Getting underway here, and looks like Lucchini is going to try and use that boost. They definitely have something set up. Bleach is just going to completely shut that down. Wonder if Lucchini will go back and try that again. Oh, Acti's going to get out instead. He's out towards the bottom.
Gets a good return on Bleach as well.
Yeah, and you might think that that's just a way to delay and get at least ahead of 1 as he gets the regrab for Lucchini. Very nice play. Unfortunately, can't make the most of that boost.
Ooh, I think that was a pretty important play, like in the first minute, to get some momentum and put some pressure on the other team. It was pretty important to keep that regrab chain open. They couldn't take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, something else they're going to have to take advantage of are these bombs as well. And defense has been relatively good at clearing them out so far. Just in going for that pump, Pinkman's going to get out. Black was trying to close him down and will, and they'll get the tag pro on the other side. So advantage to EMILIA CLARKE at the moment, and Drink Bleach plays that perfectly against the tag pro.
I think after how many seasons Acti's played, he'd know how to use a tag pro a bit better.
He's still struggling, but we're all learning. We're all getting better. And that's another complete shutout. So first minute and a half, relatively slow so far. Pink's going to try another risky grab. Yeah, just very, very difficult to get out, as so expected on Star. And Bleach coming all the way down to this boost here to try and slow down activation. So Lucchini's got nothing on Dilzer at the moment. Bomb's coming back up. This is definitely the offender's chance. And it's going to work out in A's favour. He's going top, and that came with a flash hitter from Acti. So that was the biggest chance of the game so far, but good OD there from Lucchini. Slows A enough down for Blackwood to get the return. Another round of pups coming up. Dills is going to get that tag pro, and this is the biggest chance of the game now. So we've got a lead. Bleach gets an easy return 2v1, and Dills gets another return with the tag pro, clears out the team, and that's first cap to PINKSMEN. Yeah,
Again, some good timing in terms of the pups. It left EMILIA CLARKE in 2 minds on both offense and defense as ALMO caps one more time.
On the back foot already.
Yeah, definitely a strong start.
It's going to be pretty hard to claw that back on Star as well.
So we see Lucchini again going down for that boost. He's going to keep trying it, but he hasn't had anything come of it yet. Another round of pops coming up. A, who's probably just going to go and grab No, he wasn't going to grab the flag, and he's going to lose the tag bro as a result. If Lucchini can get out with any sort of space here, and in fact they're employing another defender to just ensure that he doesn't, as Balakwa comes over with the tag pro. There's not long left on it, so he's just going to decide to grab instead and get around Dilzer. He's out bottom, and A is not there straight away. He's going to get there eventually. No blocks from Dokugan, unfortunately, and that'll be shut down.
Yeah, whenever you come into base by going bottom, it's nearly impossible to get a cap. It's just too hard to block the offensive defense when they come in like that.
He was kind of forced into it with the grab that he took there, unfortunately, but I think both teams are definitely aware of that, as Pinkman almost tries to kill his offensive partner. A eventually does with some pressure created by Balakwa, and another shutdown. Really, really good displays of defense so far, apart from the two chained caps that PINKSMEN got, as Pinkman might go for another one against the power-up timing right now, and A's going to get that power-up anyway, so really well played from the offensive duo there. Pink's just going to hold, probably should just take the defenders away and drop so that A get A on that juke juice. Instead he's going to, there we go, run himself into a splack, much better. Definitely looking the better team at the moment, PINKSMEN, and Pink will grab that button for A, but still struggling to make his way across the map. It is a very, very difficult map to get across. He's looking for some blocks from Pinkman now. And this is definitely his chance, and Balak was scrambling to get ahead again. Eventually does, and A's just going to decide to juke him out on the bottom, and Lucchini's come a little too far. He's got the blocks on Acti. 3-0. Just wonderfully patient, wonderfully played by Alameo, as Pink's going to get out. He decides, and that he obviously knows that going out onto the long side is not the way to go. He's probably just going to hold until his team can set up those pups. Meanwhile, EMILIA CLARKE are making advantage of that with their grab by Lucchini. 2 tag pros though is going to make this really difficult unless Dokugan makes something happen. Unfortunately can't. So all going to be down to Acti to see how long he can hold here. Could have got a tag on Pinkman there.
He likes to boost or bomb block, does Doku.
Well, maybe not a good one, Ben. He likes trying them, maybe. Acti has made his way across the map. He's looking for Dokugan to get this solo here, and just can't get it on Bleach. And with Lucchini playing anti, that was a definite capping opportunity. Still could be on, as we get a button from Doku ensures Acti's safety. But with 3 ahead on a map like Star, you definitely need something a little bit extra. You probably need a better defense than that, as Pink gets out with a nice bomb. Gets the regrab trading going for his own team now. Another round of pups. You expect EMILIA CLARKE to potentially seed this, or even give up a cap. They have got the tag pro, and Bleach can't get the return on Lucchini yet, so well played by EMILIA CLARKE to get out of that jam.
3.
Here's their chance. Oh, the post.
Very, very unlucky.
Demons.
Dilzer helps Balakwa out. That is the greatest grab of the game so far, and it was created by the opposing team. Balakwa, the defender, gets the cap for EMILIA CLARKE. The comeback is on now as Acti gets a roll-off grab. Works those two brilliantly, Lucchini and Acti. That was a brilliant grab. He's going to decide to potentially go up top, and 8 probably isn't covering it, so it's definitely an opportunity. So then he got 3 ahead. He's going to take the boost just onto the steps. He's hoping for something to pop up, maybe waiting for the pups that are spawning in a little bit. And Lucchini's just keeping Drink Bleach from challenging. There's going to be a grab by Dilzer, and he definitely needs to stay alive here. It's only 2-on-2 now. Bleach won't be able to make it there in time, so all down to the blocks. A nice OD. They formed their X there, did Pink and A, and that's going to slow down Acti. It's a very, very long hold at this stage. Probably upwards of a minute. And in fact, he's worked his way all the way back down to the other side. He's expecting Bleach to boost onto the button there. Didn't come, so he's just going to make his way through the middle. Again, 4 ahead, and I think the way that PINKSMEN... Oh, that was just a play for anti there by Bleach. I think PINKSMEN at the moment are just happy to sort of hold their lead for the remaining 2 minutes, wait, ensure that they get the pup control, and that's what Acti's waiting for at the moment as well. And they're just happy to play the time, basically. They got that 2-cap lead. There's no need to rush. They know that if they stay ahead and eventually get that regrab chain that forms, that they'll be completely safe. In saying that, they have committed a couple to the pups, and Dokugan's going to get a tag pro. So if Aki can get behind him here, Bleach has sort of cordoned him off, and Aki's going to have to work his way backwards. They're all surrounding him, and it could become a cap regardless. Dokugan is going to need to make use of that tag pro very, very soon. Lucinian is rushing behind him. It's not going to happen. That tag pro is going to expire within seconds. They might still have the blocks, and it's 3v2. That was, what, 2 minutes of hold? 2+ minutes of hold? I feel like Acti held for at least 2 rounds of pups, plus some extra there. So almost 3 minutes, really, from Acti. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Very, very patient, and you really need to take your opportunities on Star, and they're doing that at the moment, so fair play to them. Bleach gets a lovely grab, but the boost from Black was just going to push him into the spike. We've got 1 more minute, 1 more round of pups. A very, very strong start from PINKSMEN has been whittled down to a 1-cap lead at the moment, and EMILIA CLARKE definitely looking the better of the two, but that might turn around here. A on the Juke Juice, Dilzer on the tag pro, is going to take it O, and Pink's just going to hope that Dilzer can make something happen with this tag pro. He's just going to decide to grab it, and Lucini's going to do the same on the other side. Dilzer might die here. He's not. The jukes from Dilzer are not going to be enough through the spikes.
We're going to close down Pink.
Doku. It's all on Acti. A kiss would be very nice here. Black was going to be quite aggressive in chasing Pinkman, almost take out Acti. Instead, Dilzer's going to die, and with a couple of blocks, it's not going to come, unfortunately. And Blackwood with a nice snipe. This is the last chance for Dokugan. He's going to try and get out top. He might not have that angle. He does have that angle. Pink hits the wall. The booster spawns. And it might not just be enough time to get a cap. Very, very strong. Very exciting first half. Blackwell with 13 returns and a cap. Definitely the strongest of the game. And indeed, activation over 2.5 minutes of holds. And I think 2.5 minutes of that would have come off 1 grab. Very, very good half. As people, what did you think?
Me.
Do you want to repeat that?
I've been lagging so bad all night, so
there you are.
I think my mic has been stuffing up as well. I thought that half was very weird, actually. Some weird moments that led to caps for both teams. I felt in the last cap that I didn't see any reason why PINKSMEN weren't playing anti-regrab. Did they really need 4 versus 2 on offensive defense? They didn't. They could have had 1 person on playing anti-regrab to grab that cap. And yeah, so I was really confused about that play. And for PINKSMEN's caps, I think they got caught out by Pinkman mainly. He's always trying to grab instead of going for the pup, and it leaves the other team in 2 different minds between grabbing, going for the pup, or preventing the flag from getting out. And they got both pups and they kept getting out as well. So I think that's the main way Pinkman started dominating that game in the first half.
Yeah, definitely taking advantage of those windows. I saw a couple of grabs there as EMILIA CLARKE went for the pops, so look out for that. Probably not so much a thing that's going to happen on Iron, but definitely something that could turn around this half as well.
So for the halftime break, we have a question. Was A's cap cool or not? I don't remember him capping.
You're right.
That's me. Alright, we're just having some joiner issues here, so bear with us. I think the joiner issues might have been created by A spamming.
That's better.
For all those interested in Lucchini's Pump Up playlist, it contains Kanye West's Hold My Liquor. Just as an FYI, if anyone was wondering.
3, 2.
Alright, second half underway. Definitely hoping EMILIA CLARKE can pull this back.
Yeah, they'll be feeling happy that it's only one kill after the start they had.
Yeah, they won't be feeling happy about the fact that there could potentially be a 2-cap deficit now, unless Balakwa can make something happen. Dokugan's there.
That was great. Great.
Balakwa can't really afford to rush out, but it's going to work out for him. Dokugan's getting a grab against Dilza. Nothing's going to be made of it. Exciting start. Definitely a chance. Definitely a weakness on the defensive side. Dokugan... Acti playing defense. Dokugan boosted himself away. Acti nicely filling in for Balakwa there. We've got pup spawning in the next 10 minutes. You'd expect the offenders would just be delaying until that. And Lucchini is going to take the initiative to get that pup. It's a rolling bomb, unfortunately for him. So the play from Activation and Lucchini to make the most of that didn't work out.
Balakwa spikes himself going off as well.
He just struggles making it across the map sometimes. He is going to go to offense eventually. He gets a tag on Dilza, then gets a grab.
Under no pressure at all.
It's not too bad in the end, though, but there are 3 ahead, and you'd expect a team with the quality of PINKSMEN to certainly shut him down here. Should even be looking for anti-regrab soon. Yeah.
2 spikes there.
Oh, and Duke's out Bleach, so Balakwa needs to rush this. He had the blocks if he went inside straight away. He doesn't anymore. Bleach is able to get ahead, so should have cut through the spikes a little bit earlier. Does get the regrab chain for Lucchini, though, so we'll see what they can make of that. With pup spawning in another 5 seconds, Acti should definitely be making a play for that. And he will, and there's a solid fight going on the other side. And Acti's not going to get a little too conservative there, trying to be a little too smart by blocking Bleach for the entirety of the time. And they can't... Ooh, watch that. They set up the bomb for Lucchini to bomb off Activation, so make sure you look out for that in the future. Didn't work out there, but definitely a good idea. Just a couple of aggressive grabs there from EMILIA CLARKE. Is going to put their offense on the back foot for a little bit longer and allow the chance to grab and absolutely juggle Dokugan, but not make it of it, actually. Looking for the handoff there for Pinkman. Didn't come. Acti's playing around the bomb spawn there. Definitely a very exciting start to this second half. And Pinkman is going to get out, and his brother's going to get out top as well. Good closing down is going to give Acti the chance to use this boost and probably tie the game up.
That was a great block by Doku there to let Acti out. And
once again,
Bleach
gets a great grab, but it's the confusion of the timing of the pups that's causing a lot of these caps.
Well done, Doku. Dilza's ahead. Lucchini needs to get on Ree.
Dokugan smartly just chooses to boost ahead rather than going for Dilza, and they've got 3 ahead. Trying to make use of this bomb is going to get a grab off Activation and juke him as well. But Balakwa will close him down eventually. Not quite sure if Asby's trying to speak or not, but as we're trying to figure that out, Dokugan's going to get out and take an aggressive boost towards the base, looking for that pup spawn, just hoping that it's a rolling bomb. Unfortunately, it's a tag pro for Alameo. Lucchini gets one on the other side, so hopefully those will cancel each other out as we see Pinkman get ahead of all, down to Lucchini now. Smartly chooses to aggressively take out Acti, and Dokugan's going to need to push up. Acti rushes up.
Good rush.
Very, very smart play from EMILIA CLARKE overall there. And Acti could make use of this grab here. There's 3 dead. If they can get blocks on Pink, he might be able to get the gate for a second. And that's enough to push Dilza back. They've got double blocks on Pink. They need to ensure that Drink Bleach doesn't get there on time. And it's a lovely cap.
Good blocks,
Brilliant
good
team
patience.
effort.
Pinkman did all he could. He created some good sandwich blocks, but eventually the defense rectified that and got that cap.
Yeah, just was it all three dead all at once for PINKSMEN. Absolutely cost them. Bleach is going to make his way through the middle, and blocks are already set, but just chose the wrong path there, I think. Probably had a little more space going on the other option. And with that one cap lead now, EMILIA CLARKE are going to come off with 2 tag pros and a very easy grab out towards the bottom side of the map. If Dilzer can't close him down, and indeed he can't, that's going to shut that down. So well played by PINKSMEN to ensure that the lead doesn't get any larger. Saying that they might throw it away here.
He really should have done better with that tag pro lead.
Just a couple of flaccid from either team. It's going to take us into our next pub round.
Four minutes left. Can PINKSMEN pull it out? He's got a rolling bomb.
Yeah, he's going to look to use that. Unfortunately, he can't make much of it. Pink just goes in to try and get a out with a handoff. Doesn't work. Lucchini with an aggressive grab, probably looking for a block from Acti, and it comes. He's going out top though, and he's going to have to turn around or find a way to turn around. Acti tried to get the button for him too, so that means the regrab's going to be a little bit slow, and he's just going to be closed down very quickly by Dilzer and Bleach. Very exciting game so far. Just one cap in it at the moment. EMILIA CLARKE. This was them. Was this their map? I think this was their map that they chose.
I believe they beat his team 6-1 or something. It's a similar scoreline.
Okay, so you'd expect them to make the most of their chances on a map like this. So we see the fight for power-ups, and Dilzer with that tag pro means that Lucchini is going to need to rush at PINKSMEN, and PINKSMEN obviously didn't know that they had the play there, because if he went a little bit more aggressive, that might have been a cap. It's going to work out for EMILIA instead, and that's going to make it 4-4. With just 2.5 minutes remaining, Dilzer's trying to make his way across the map, and they're just suiciding into him to ensure that he doesn't get anything to happen near the flag, and then a couple of flaccid. Well played from EMILIA CLARKE. Saying that, Dilzer's trying to get PINKSMEN a grab. He didn't get him a very good one, and didn't get one for himself either. So complete reset. Teams playing some quite solid defense, just a couple of mishaps here and there, or unfortunate pop spawns have led to the caps at the moment. EMILIA with a lovely handoff for PINKSMEN, and Lucchini can't make anything happen with that bomb on the other side. He's going to rush up at PINKSMEN, and he definitely has that angle to close him down, and does, but they had one eye on the pups there, and Acti's going to get that tag pro regardless. So even though they were on the back foot, they played that well. Yeah, bit of tunnel vision from Activation and Lucchini there. Knew that they had the lead themselves and just wanted to get to base as soon as possible, but didn't realise there were no defenders at home. So easy grab against the runner play there. Yeah, it definitely feels like it.
1 minute left. PINKSMEN up by 1.
Map beating EMILIA CLARKE on this map is crucial for them.
Pops split evenly between A and Acti. He's going to use his pop well to get out and try and attack the base, and you'd expect that he probably would be doing well to just hold here for as long as he can. And it's going to be anti-played by Activation instead. Then he's going to rush on offense to at least hold the gate. Unfortunately, nothing's happening between Balako and Lucchini. As I say that, he's out through the middle, and there's no gate from activation, but it might be enough. He's ahead of 2 is Lucchini. They know they don't need the gate. There's 3-on-2 blocks. This could turn it around. Lovely OD from A, and Pinkman just forming a large wall and ensuring he couldn't get past. And that was definitely, you feel like, their last opportunity, and a great opportunity at that. But some great OD by PINKSMEN ensures that their result stays the same. 5-4 to PINKSMEN. They take out the first map, the map you'd expect EMILIA CLARKE to do the best on. It was the map that they picked. Unfortunately for them, didn't work out that way. A lovely comeback towards the end by PINKSMEN, and they take the series 1-0 going into Iron. What'd you think of that game, Vin? One cap. Yeah. 2 caps in that half, though. Definitely struggled at the start of that second half, but pulled it back well. And we're just trying to sort out some commentator issues. Not sure what's happening with Aspi, and apparently we can't hear Vin on stream either. Most of you will be thanking us for that, but we'll try and sort that out for you.
I've got my mic turned off because it makes a buzzing sound on the stream, which is terrible. So
okay.
So Iron next. EMILIA CLARKE just have to shake that one off.
Yeah.
I think they chose Iron, didn't they?
PINKSMEN chose Iron.
Oh, okay.
So PINKSMEN definitely feeling the better of the two at the moment. They're calling for a water break at the moment, probably just to de-stress and chat about what they're going to do for the second map. And we're just going to take a quick intermission. You drag Shannon. Thanks. Sorry, Shan, didn't have powers.
This joint for the fans in the stands with their hands in the air, wave left to right. For the kings and the queens in the penthouse suite, living lavish lives. This joint for the fans in the stands with their hands in the air, wave left to right. For the kings and the queens in the penthouse suite, living lavish lives. Lavish, caviar with a
Yeah, SP. Shandor, shut up. Must be unmute. Alright, looks like both teams are ready.
Nevertheless, though, I'ma keep it 100% to the death, though. I stack that cheese like pesto. On tracks, I beast like Pecto. Just know that I'm ready to ride if you ready to slide, dip low like techno. This joint for the fans in the stands with their hands in the air, wave left to right. For the kings and the queens in the penthouse.
Alright, we've started. So, second game iron. PINKSMEN 1 game lead.
Can they hear you on stream now, Ben?
Yeah, they'll be able to hear me. I'm quite quiet though.
Cool.
Doku deserved a star loss, in my opinion, for picking
Just
it.
let us know if anyone needs that to change.
3, 2, 1.
Pink's team, I was with them and just before the game started. They definitely sounded confident for this map. They were a little bit worried about Star, so they'll be feeling pretty happy about the results so far. Both teams going for inventive grabs with the boosts at the start, and looks like neither of them are going to be able to make too much of it. As we see, Dills instead boost into a spike. Blocks was set on Bleach, but it's just not enough, and he gets himself ahead well to shut that down. Nothing off the first 30 seconds. Definitely a very difficult map to get out on. Feel like you need either a regrab chain to start it all, or just skills like Acti has at the moment as he gets out ahead of two very, very easily. Just going to slow it down a little bit as he knows Pups are spawning, wants Lucchini to get that one uncontested, or instead get a juke around PINKSMEN, and some blocks on Dills is going to give them the first cap of the game. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful boost block against that tag pro there. Might go the other way, unfortunately for them, though, as they have that lead. Acti using the bomb to get ahead. I feel like he could have just got ahead a little bit safer there, or delayed Dills a little bit more. He's going to go for a grab. It's all down to Dokugan here. He's going to have to solo PINKSMEN, and it looks like it's not going to be enough. So back to 1-1, parity restored. Acti gets a reset on the other side. What looked like a great start for EMILIA CLARKE turns into just a zero-sum game. Apologise, we're still trying to sort out Asperliqueta's mic at the moment. PINKSMEN gets a nice block on Dokugan, and eventually turns out to be not so nice as he pushes him onto the boost bomb and then killing his own flag carrier. So with Pups coming up once again, PINKSMEN's just going to juke them all. Balaka with the juke juice, probably the best pup he could have got in that situation, actually. Allowed him to just get ahead nicely as we got Dokugan going for that gate. And ahead of 3, but Alamea with his tag pro you'd expect, although the last time they had a tag pro wasn't enough. This time it will be enough. Acti rather, looking to clear out that base. He didn't have much long left on the tag pro. Dokugan waiting for the spawn of activation to get that gate, and it doesn't come, and Balaka can't get the return on Drink Bleach, so that's going to be a train for both teams at the moment. Return comes on Dokugan. Meanwhile, Bleach uses the spikes in the middle to have a bit of fun with EMILIA CLARKE's defenders before getting tagged by Dokugan, and there's a chance for Lucchini as he goes for a kiss. Unfortunately, Bleach played anti on the other side, so that'll be a reset ahead of Pups. And Dokugan may well get that right one uncontested if he knows the spawning time, and he did. Meanwhile, Balaka will get the tag pro to nullify Bleach's tag pro. If anyone understood that, you can translate that in chat. As we have Alameo coming out, they're looking for the gate. Smart decision not to go for the gate. They're instead going to wait for Bleach to lead against Balaka, and Alameo with a second cap for PINKSMEN. They're up 2-1, taking the lead that they expected to have for this game. Definitely looking the better of the two sides too at the moment. Just Much better pup control. Potentially getting a little bit lucky with the spawns of the tag pros, but they've made them count for sure, and you can't argue with that as we have activation, Flasting against Stills Up.
Yeah, they've definitely made the most of their pups.
All the caps come from tag pros.
And you see EMILIA CLARKE recognizing that that's part of the issue and setting up very, very early for these pups. Unfortunately, all they get out of it is a rolling bomb uncontested. Dills' rolling bomb, yeah. Black was going to try and make something work on offense. He's looking for Lucchini to help him out. Probably not going to come though. And they're both going to get shut down. Meanwhile, Dokugan pushes A off the button nicely. Very clutch. As expected, offense is not making too much happen, and just as I say that, activation gets out very cleanly against Drink Bleach, but doesn't have the speed to get into base, unfortunately. Blocks were mediocre, I guess. Bleach tries to rush at Lucchini, and it's just not enough.
Good positioning by Dilza there.
Yeah, both teams just getting shut down. Defense has definitely played quite well tonight, really, on both maps. Activation's going to get that tag pro nice and clean, and Lucchini's going to get a tag pro as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't have an offensive partner for another 5 seconds, and Dokugan has recognized that.
Gets pushed into the grab. We've got Lucchini going to O with his tag pro. Actually, he's going to stay defense.
Yeah, and they're just going to try and slow Lucchini down, exactly the same as EMILIA CLARKE did on Star. They're doing the same with Lucchini's tag pro, and Dokugan unfortunately hit that wall. He might have been able to have a chance to go through mid instead of going top, but regardless, PINKSMEN able to get all 4 ahead and close him down. Lucchini's sitting on that boost. Didn't do too well last time he was on the boost. Let's see if he can make something of it this time. He just goes top instead, and that's the way to do it. Sneaks past Drink Bleach, has the boost off to the side, goes off the steps. That was lovely stuff too. Not the normal way you take that boost, but obviously he knew what he was doing, and it worked a treat. Activation, looking for some blocks from Lucchini. There's no gate, unfortunately, and the pup is not that early, Acti. So you're gonna have to work your way out, mate. Dokugan with the tag pro.
Just deals it ahead now. Doku with the tag pro. That's going to be a cap.
It is very nice, and Lucchini with the Juke Juice, you'd expect him to make something of it against Drink Bleach 1v1. It's not going to be 1v1 for too long. Dokugan comes in with a tag pro, but there's a tag pro lead on the other side. They're going to play the risky play, but definitely get out, and it could go their way. If Lucchini can stay alive for a little bit longer, he can't, and the blocks are coming on Blackwood. He's going to need to grab and stay alive for a little bit longer.
To get away.
Does perfectly.
Oh, he's coming back though. Bleach is
much more than that. PINKSMEN almost moved off the flag. You didn't think that Bleach had it. He really shouldn't have had it.
Blackwood should have kept going.
Yeah, just not the knowledge perhaps on offense that you'd expect from either Acti or Lucchini. So a bit unfortunate there, but still, just the 1 cap in it. Still a tight game. Still 3 minutes remaining in this half as well. So hopefully we can see a turnaround.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
We can indeed.
Okay, sweet. Hopefully I'm back.
Welcome back. Dills has got his RB intact. He's looking for a grab.
Yeah, Balakwa does clear it nicely. And that's going to allow activation the freedom to go on offense now as well. Both teams obviously very nervous. They're playing the conservative play style, as expected on maps like these. And neither offender can make much of that grab there.
What's happened so far in this half? Give us a lowdown.
Pups, name of the game.
Yep.
Yep. All 3 of PINKSMEN's caps have come from tag pro leads. One of them was a delayed cap off a tag pro lead, but the first 2 were direct leads, so definitely making the most of those, and the fight for those have been highly prioritized.
Is it?
No, it's definitely the way to win. Unfortunately, there's no contest on mid, so Pink's going to get that Juke Juice uncontested. Activation's holding Bleach off the button, probably just allowing Balakwa to get out very easily. And Lucchini with that Juke Juice, you'd expect, should be able to shut down the offense. Probably didn't need that. He could close him down. And Dokugan cleverly gets himself ahead of his FC and just says, "Stand behind me, I'll protect you." And lovely stuff from EMILIA CLARKE. So 3-all as we reach the final minutes nearly of this first half on iron. Definitely looks an even game at the moment. If anything, I think EMILIA CLARKE looked the better side. As we see, yeah, almost the double, almost the double. They're looking for blocks on Pinkman, and Balak was going to get a double block, but the pressure from Dilzar just forced Lucchini to delay his cap just a little bit, and no kiss coming either. With another round of pups spawning as well, you expect Stokugan and Lucchini to have protection for there. RBs for both flag carriers at the moment, so this will be an interesting finish as we've got Lucchini taking it all the way back to base. There's no blocks on Bleach. And eventually getting the kiss. Probably don't want to grab here. 30 seconds left.
That kiss was definitely better for the PINKSMEN.
Oh. Did time the boost spawn, but angle just wasn't on.
A good grab off Dilzar and gets a boost around him well.
There's a chance to go up before the half ends. Oh, A is out though.
2, 1.
That's going to end the half. 3-3. $16 pups to 11 to EMILIA CLARKE. Not very much hold.
Yeah, which is to be expected on iron. Definitely
yeah.
a defensive map, yeah.
And Bleach with 12 returns the most.
We did expect Bleach, we were talking about it before the stream started. Did expect Bleach to definitely step his game up on iron. Definitely a map he'd be confident on. And EMILIA CLARKE, after losing the first couple of pup rounds, or at least suffering from losing some of the pups, they definitely turned it around.
Who do you think were the standout performers of that half?
I thought the offensive duo of Lucchini and Activation definitely probably should have had a couple more caps. There were a couple of times there where you really don't expect them to make grabs without elements or without pups, and yet Acti was able to have a nice run off, or there were some handoffs. So hopefully they can just keep that sort of form going and have the confidence to keep trying those, because it definitely worked out for them. Whereas PINKSMEN were very, very reliant on tag bros. Not that that's a bad thing, but if the pups don't go their way in the second half, then it could go the way of EMILIA CLARKE. So the offensive duo, EMILIA CLARKE, I think, hopefully should be able to make some plays leading into the second half and leading into the potential final half of their season as we're getting the game underway.
Looking forward to this half and see which player can step up and make some big plays to get their team over the line.
Any tips there, Asby?
The one player who stands out for me is probably Drink Bleach. If anyone's going to make some big plays, it's going to be him.
Wow, what a hot take. Alright.
So EMILIA and CLARKE need to win this half or they're kicked out of the playoffs.
Is that how it works? I thought a draw would take us to game 3
There's a draw, I believe it goes into overtime.
on this map. Cool.
Each map has to have a winner.
Shows you how long I've been out.
Learned that from season.
A couple of flaccid early from both offenses.
I think
As
I've
expected.
been out longer than you. So,
Yeah, but you've actually been here watching it. Just jostling for pups.
ooh.
And nothing happening on EMILIA CLARKE's side. Pinkman grabbing against 4. You realise his mistake there.
Doesn't want any of them to get the return.
Pups are up now.
Yeah, trying to fight for that left
Acti
one.
gets a tag pro. Oh, Lucchini gets a tag pro as well. 2 tag pros at offense.
finally the pups fall their own way as they get a nice lead out. Dills is a little too far behind. Bleach is going to try and make something happen on offense.
And Bleach is ahead of 4 now as well.
And this could be a
Yeah.
cap for.
They need to stay safe. Oh,
Dills are lovely. The threat of Pinkman, he just used that to get the return against the Tag Pro lead. Lucchini's just going to boost ahead of A. There is one dead though due to a spike. Acti.
Oh!
He just
Again.
wasn't positioned.
Again, the threat of an element more effective in using the actual element itself. Bleach just sitting in that bomb. Acti didn't want to get bombed away, and as a result was completely out of position on OD. He should have just been sitting in front of the flag like his offensive partner.
Yeah.
So PINKSMEN take the lead.
He should have been on the bottom left of that flag, so then even if Bleach did get him, he could be pushed onto the flag. And if Bleach didn't get him, he could have just made a quick grab, adjusting for when they came in. So I
basically
think that positioning was really poor.
Yeah, the only thing he shouldn't have done is the thing that he did do, which is sit against the steps completely out of the way of both of them, and afford a cap to PINKSMEN. And could be another one. Unfortunately, Dills has been bombed away with that Tag Pro, but they are happy to just hold this 1 cap lead at the moment. Gets a fusser to go back to D, and you'd expect things to be reset as we see Lucchini going for a grab against 3. I'm not sure I agree with that decision again. I don't know why offenders are grabbing. It's hard enough to get up against 2, let alone 3 players on Iron. So hopefully they can sharpen that up as the half continues. And more silly grabs.
Let's see if whoever goes for pups. A should probably go for mid, and he does.
Lucchini's not set himself up well. Actually, he does get a decent position on Bleach. Black was 2v1 in the middle, loses the Tag Pro. Lucchini's going to get a clean grab, but he will be closed down by 2, and no support from Activation coming as they try and clean out the Tag Pro from behind. Alamo and Pinkman eventually do figure that Tag Pro out, and Bleach gets the bomb on Lucchini, so it's all up to Dokugan here. He guesses underneath, and just doesn't work. Alamo will capitalize on that for a 2-cap lead to PINKSMEN. 6 minutes remaining.
Blocked by Drink Bleach. A spiking Lucchini. He was the second person ahead of Alameo, causing them to get an easy cap.
Balakwa with a nice roll off Dills, but can't get that boost. And Bleach just covering the angles there. Balakwa's calling out lag. He's probably hoping to save a bit of face there as Alameo just juked his entire team. Lucchini's the only one ahead, goes for a grab. Alameo's got that bomb. Unfortunately, not enough to push Lucchini into his teammates. And they're getting the Tag Pro uncontested on the right as well as the middle. Pinkman with the rolling bomb, hopefully looking to make the most of that and just delay for his team as much as he can. Gets the tag instead, that'll do it. And there's no Tag Pro ahead either. So just need to try and find a way to block out Balakwa. Dokugan's playing a bit of anti on the other side. Again, PINKSMEN probably happy to just hold, delay as long as they can, potentially, set up for the next round of pups and make the most of their opportunities as Pinkman comes around the bottom onto the steps, but just not enough. And Lucchini, they don't even fight for the gate. Acti's out ahead of 3. Doesn't have the angle on Pink, is going to go straight into the gate. Probably not the way you want to do it. Balakwa going for a grab, and he'll get out ahead of 2. Dilzer will do the same on the other side, though. So things even here. And the chasing's been that little bit better from PINKSMEN at the moment. Lucchini has given Dilzer the pop, but does get the tag, and Balakwa can't get around Pinkman. Risky positioning, but he had to do it.
You have to say, the amount of Tag Pros EMILIA have gotten this half, they really shouldn't be losing this half 2-0. They've played really poorly with the pups and haven't used them effectively at all.
Let's hope that they can do something with it here. Balakwa's got the block. And Alamo is just going to kill time. There's no more Tag Pro, and indeed Balakwa's going to die, and it's going to go the other way again. It's all down to Activation to stay alive. Dills is trying to close him down, but unfortunately he can't do much in that position 1v1 with help from Bleach here, and his own teammates getting killed still. Dokugan getting killed in the middle. Balakwa with a saving return, and it's going to go the other way now. So it should be, I repeat, should be a cap for Balakwa, and that's going to make it 5-4 one cap in it. Again, Lucchini boosting off that top corner. There's two of the opposing teams going for pups, but it's a tag pro, and that's going to give them the edge there. Acti gets the juke juice, but Dilza should get out with a lead eventually.
Balakwa really should have done better there. Needed to stay alive to give his partner Dokugan a chance to get a return.
Yeah, so we see the pups expiring now. Dilza's no longer got his lead. Dokugan's still playing anti against Pinkman, but they need to be careful that they don't let too many players get behind here. Dilza almost getting Balakwa in that very short section there up top. Can't make the most of it. Acti's probably calling for the gate that entire time. Drink Bleach bought straight into it. Nice OD from Pink and A so far, though. Acti's got that boost. Going to come off the steps. Not enough to get around Alameo. Very, very nice OD from PINKSMEN at the moment. Dokugan rushing it into base a little bit. It's going to take that bomb and that boost around the initial portion of the OD, but that's going to seed a tag pro to Alameo. They do get a tag pro on activation, and indeed a juke juice, which he wants to pick up himself. Interesting decision. He will be able to get most of the tags, and Lucchini's going to get out, and he's got the tag pro spawning at home. So they get that kill immediately on Dilza. Very unfortunate spawns. And we've pulled it back. So 5-5, there's 2.5 minutes remaining. Remember, this is PINKSMEN's map choice. So they should theoretically be the stronger team on this map. Balakwa actually never had a chance to get in that gate. Balakwa trusted him anyway. I suppose that's what you want to see. But
There's not really much point going for the gate ever.
very rarely. Very rarely. Got another round of pups coming up. All teams focusing on the base pups. Obviously the mid pups are a little bit delayed. 2v2, A is going to win the tag pro, the all-important tag pro. Lucchini with the juke juice, and looks like EMILIA CLARKE are definitely aware of the mid spawn. Alameo and Pinkman just wanted to make the most of the tag pro that they had. Balak was going to delay them a little bit, and Lucchini with this tag pro and the juke juice, you'd expect, maybe even goes, I thought he should have gone for the grab there even with the juke juice, but it's all on activation to stay alive. Lucchini's protecting him so much. He's got to stay on that tile, and Bleach's spawn just gets him. Pinkman tries to go off the steps. Unfortunately, not enough. Lucchini's going to get the grab and a nice little slippery juke there away from Bleach and Dilza. Absolutely filthy, but not enough to get away. They do catch up to him eventually. We've got 1 minute remaining. Dokugan tries to go off the top wall. It's just not enough. And another round of pups, I imagine, teams will be setting up for and fighting for here. Pinkman holding off too, I guess. Dokugan pushed A into that pup. Very unfortunate. And you got to make sure Alameo can do some damage with the juke juice. So you need to ensure that he doesn't make too much happen. Lucchini does get the juke juice on the other side, and activation gets away from Dilza nicely. Just going to buy time. Probably should just take the defense elsewhere and give Lucchini a nice grab. Looks at the moment, if it stays this way, we are going to overtime. And a nice bomb from activation pushes Bleach out of the way. A grab from Alameo on the other side gets closed down by Balakwa, and it's 3-on-2 here. Lucchini goes off the steps, and Dilza gets a nice escaping grab, and it could go the other way. Lucchini definitely needs to stay alive. They can't be thinking too aggressively here. Probably just both teams should be taking the overtime, looking to take the overtime. Balakwa boosts ahead. Dilza's got the boost.
What the hell?
Just a couple of seconds too late.
No, I think that would have been dodgy as hell if Dilza capped there, because that tag pro is broken. Seconds more than it should have.
All right, so we have overtime for the first time in the final series. Are these 5-minute halves, are they?
Yeah,
Anyone know?
5-minute halves.
Yep.
Winner is the team with the high score at the end of those.
Yeah, cool.
Last half, 2-2, whole 6-0. Thoughts?
I think deserved, to be honest. I think these teams have played very, very even game. I think EMILIA CLARKE were unlucky to lose on Star as well. And yeah, I can't really split the two, to be honest. I don't think either team's been dominant in any way. I think EMILIA CLARKE definitely had the better of the pups in that last game and definitely should have done a little bit better. But just a couple of silly mistakes and nice plays from PINKSMEN, in particular A and Drink Bleach, playing out of their minds at the moment, as expected, carrying the team. So if the rest of PINKSMEN can step up, I think they'll be the ones that take it.
I think, from my opinion, I think that made a lot of mistakes this game. And in terms of, they've been the better team, but they've made a lot more mistakes than PINKSMEN, if that makes sense. So, add a bit more and I'll get back to you.
He's resetting, isn't it?
What do you think Black was saying lag in the middle of the game? Is it the Nuga special? Say that. Yeah, anyways, continuing from my thoughts earlier, all round, I think PINKSMEN have been playing a smarter game, making less mistakes. But EMILIA CLARKE have been a bit more aggressive, and I feel like they have had the better of the play. But the mistakes are the reason that it has been so close in both games, and that's the main reason they're not winning, is just individual mistakes in certain situations where they should have been closing, getting some caps and making some plays where they haven't. That deservedly PINKSMEN are in the lead, but if EMILIA CLARKE, they've shown that they can be a better team if they can iron out those mistakes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The amount of tag pros that they had, it seemed like consecutively, almost every single round they were getting a tag pro. Sometimes two, and just couldn't make anything happen. Really, really unfortunate, and they definitely should be going into Scorpio right now instead of looking at OT on Iron.
Exactly.
Dokugan looks like he's rejoined us. It sounded like he was suffering from middle lag as well. Alright, looks like both teams are ready. So we're almost set to get back into Iron OT. As Aspi said earlier, EMILIA CLARKE really just need to clean up their act a little bit and stop making some of the little mistakes that they're making, or at least capitalize on the opportunities that they're given, because there were a lot of them. Meanwhile, PINKSMEN just really need to step up their game a bit, as I think A and Bleach have definitely been playing quite well, but definitely looking for a little bit more from those two and step up a little bit in this very, very crucial overtime half. Of course, the winner of this game goes on to play NIP in the preliminaries next for this weekend, and then following that, the week after, the Captors. The winner of that will play the Captors in the Premier Ball.
So let's ask Nuga here, which team, after watching today's display, would you be more happy to verse next week? If you want, you can play 4 vs 8. I don't mind that. To the first half, I'm not sure. Has Elfie gone missing?
No.
Say something, please.
I'm here. Like, half the time I can't hear you speaking, so I'm trying to give you certain opportunities to speak when you want to speak.
take pro set round of pups.
say some things sometimes. I don't really have things to say.
Right then. Thanks, Ben, for jumping in. Alameo out very nicely with a quick boost. Not enough to get past the OD, though. Does start up the train, and you'd hope that they can make the most of this. Dokugan trying to close down Pink, just forcing him a little bit further.
There's some
but
weird
gets the ball
positioning
back.
by Balakova.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? In saying that, he does get the return.
He didn't trust himself to get the return on Pinkman. That's the positioning. That's what it dictated to me.
Oh, Bleach. Lovely return on his own player. Pushes Lucchini nicely into the path. Still holding that train though, and they really need to just continue with this, and eventually either a gap will form
Pups are
in
up
this
too.
somewhat shaky Emilia Clarke team, or Pups will start. Closed down by Dokugan. They are going for Pups. But this is definitely Pinkman's chance. Unfortunately, Bleach misses that boost to tag Lucchini, so Pinkman's just going to need to delay for a little bit, and he does that by coming all the way back to base. That tag pro lead though. Oh my lord, what has happened there? Horrible defending. Again, as we talked about, just silly mistakes at times are costing Emilia Clarke.
It was good work by Pinkman. He noticed that Balakova did have a juke juice, so he went for Dokugan instead, and Dokugan came back too aggressively and didn't have the... get to a third game. This game is way too good to end it in 5 minutes time.
It's true. I'm hoping we just go into second OT, to be honest.
Oh, that would be intense.
Speaking of intense, we have Lucchini out ahead of 2. Balakwa's sitting on that pup. It's going to be a tag pro. So if they can close down Pinkman, and the spawn will close down Pinkman instead. Unfortunately, there's nothing closed down Drink Bleach, so this looks like it could go the other way, knowing Emilia Clarke at this stage. Balakwa's going to back activation down into the corner, and they're just going to turtle as they wait for their defense to close down Bleach. Lovely, and it could indeed go the way of... Oh, can't go the way of Emilia Clarke. Very, very back and forth at the moment. Dokugan just holding Pinkman ahead. They need to ensure he doesn't get to the gate. Activation's there. It's on, boys. It is on. One more round of pups coming. Nice couple of grabs from the offenders there. Dokugan gets out through the gate! It's 2v1. Lucchini needs to come down. He needs to get a block on Alameo. Dokugan can't make anything happen.
There's great OD by Alameo.
Yeah, I feel like
Lucchini.
Dokugan should have just... I mean, that's a lack of knowledge on offense. He really had the blocks going out towards steps.
Yeah.
And you'd expect Balakwa to just, sort of shepherd him under, and it just didn't work out that way. Regardless of all that, Pinkman's got this tag pro and killed his brother twice in quick succession, as now he leads Alameo across the map. Dokugan's been pushed out and now spiked. Lucchini pushes around the back. There's no more tag pro left, but Balakwa's going to die to Dills' Juke Juice, and that'll be a 1-cap lead to PINKSMEN just in the final seconds of OT half one. As we hear Aspie's kitchen of some sort.
Yeah, no, that was a good cap. I think it all started off with a capping opportunity for Emilia Clarke in the first place. Lucchini did make a few rash boosts throughout this game that didn't go to plan, and if they did, they would have maybe been even 2 caps ahead. PINKSMEN to recover and get that cap.
Aspie's ripping song over there. Lovely half from PINKSMEN. Definitely started off on the front foot. They had a regrab train for a little while. Eventually that very extended capping opportunity for Emilia Clarke. Again, as we talked about, leading into OT, just couldn't capitalize on their opportunity. Potentially Dokugan not reading the blocks on Balakwa, Lucchini not coming down from the boost quick enough. I don't know what he was, maybe he's expecting to have to block the second player. But really that should have been a definite cap with 2v1 blocks. Didn't work out that way, and PINKSMEN turned it around to take the lead by 1 cap in OT. This could very well be the end of Emilia Clarke's season with only 5 minutes remaining of it, potentially. And if they are able to pull it out, if it's a draw, or rather if EMILIA CLARKE win this map by 1 cap, then it'll go to OT again, another set of 5 minutes each way. And if they can pull out the win, if they win this half by 2 caps or more, then we're going on to Scorpio.
Both teams are saying right now, halftime team talk. What should they be saying, rather?
I think both teams have different issues at hand at the moment. I don't think if you're PINKSMEN that you're too unhappy. I don't think you need to change too much. I think you just tell the team to continue with the basics. Because really the only time they were on the back foot is when EMILIA CLARKE had that extended opportunity, but there's not much you can really do about that, and they salvaged it well in the end. So PINKSMEN don't need to change too much. EMILIA CLARKE really need to improve. When they do have their power-ups, they're making a lot of mistakes with them. When they do have their opportunities, they're making a lot of mistakes. So just need to ensure that their players are switched on enough. And hopefully Dokugan and Balakwa can keep PINKSMEN and A in base. Because some silly opportunities have allowed them to get out so far.
For sure, Balakwa and Dokugan need to step up for this half.
Bleach with an unorthodox version of defense there. Lamea holds the gate for PINKSMEN. Not long enough. Definitely a better showing from Doku and Balakwa as they go out and clear those boosts, potentially a little bit early. Acti can't get much happening on the other side. A slow start, as we've come to expect on all these maps tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying the game regardless. Dokugan can't get around PINKSMEN on the other side. He's going to have to cede the boost to Pink, and that'll be an RB to Pink. Lucchini does get the tag bro, the all-important tag bro. So if they can shut down the 2 rolling bombs, they will have a lead coming in to the base. A keeping that rolling intact for when that lead does come in. He's going to boost down and around. Nice stuff from Lucchini, but Dilza comes around nicely on the boost.
Good block play by Dilza, because he could have easily been tempted to go for the return earlier and get tagged and be dead them 2 behind, but he waited it out, goes for the top boost, looks for the opportunity and gets that return. Brilliant play.
A is stalling Acti from going on offense, which Acti isn't a fan of.
No. It's going to force him to stay and play defense against A as well. Although in saying that, Dilza is on offense, so 2 players out of position. One of the players that's not out of position is Lucchini, as he gets ahead of potentially 3. Bleach, clutch, absolutely clutch on the bomb, as expected. 2 tag pros as well. Yeah,
they need to close this game off right here.
And one of them needs to grab, really. They're wasting too much time trying to get Dilza the grab. Acti can't get the spawn on Lamea. Dokugan sitting in those spikes nicely. There's no pressure on him either. And there's not going to be any pressure on Lamea anytime soon, as the tag bro is able to clear both of these out. Dokugan needs to make his way back to the enemy team's base, and he does just that. But his team really need to shut down Lamea soon. Doku's taking it all the way back to base, and he's going to get the gates far too easily. Now it's all down to Dilza to make a play.
Dilza's going to get shut down.
He's getting closed out in the corner. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing against Dilza, but let's go. 2 minutes remaining. 6-6.
The boost,
all even.
He boosted in the wrong area.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Definitely need to hit the boost, the double boost, really. Unfortunately, went straight to the puck corner. And there's not much to do up there if you're getting closed down. Pop's relatively even. Acti's still got the RB intact temporarily. PINKSMEN can't make anything happen with the Juke Juice. And Acti's going to be delayed by A. And you'd expect he wouldn't be able to have any effect with that. So the second last round of Pops in OT1 is a bit null. Just the 1 remaining. And as we said, if we're still even at the end of this minute and a half now, we will go to a second game of overtime on Iron. We might not be even with Lucchini pulling some jukes in base, eventually closed down by Dilza. They knew they had the positioning there. Relatively well played on defense from both teams so far.
That's 1 minute 15 seconds to go in the first game of overtime of this map.
Oh, this is it. They've got a minute.
Incredible. They need this last round of pups.
Acti can't close down Pinkman. He's going to have to take away that boost from Pinkman so he doesn't get too far ahead. He goes for the power-up instead, and Lucchini's got it. And that means 2 dead. Lucchini still has the Juke Juice. He no longer has the Juke Juice. It's only Dokugan. They got the blocks on Dokugan. And that should be the game sealed. 2 caps lead to PINKSMEN. And Dokugan's team can't even grab the flag at the moment. And even when they do, they're not making much of it.
Gone for the Hail Mary at the moment. That concludes this game pretty much. PINKSMEN versus Nuggets in Paris next week in the preliminary finals.
Yeah. Definitely sealed. And to be honest, definitely deserved. After tonight's performance, EMILIA CLARKE just made a lot of mistakes, really, at the end of the day. Too much.
3, 2, 1.
Too many mistakes and not enough happening, rather, on offense with the tag pros, and defense was just letting it out too easily. So, unfortunate for EMILIA CLARKE, but PINKSMEN, congratulations into the preliminary final, and definitely deserving of that spot.
And they will play Nuggets in Paris, who I think they have some weaknesses on the PINKSMEN team that they can take advantage of after that game.
Yeah, but in saying that, as we saw on Monday night, there were some weaknesses in Nuggets in Paris, so it should be a wonderful matchup on whenever it is, next weekend sometime, between PINKSMEN and Nuggets in Paris. 2 teams, probably the 2 teams that could challenge the captors in the final if it came down to it. So should be a good finish to the season. Well played to both teams, and especially well played to PINKSMEN tonight. See if we can potentially get some in for interviews. Dokugan
Hey, what's up, yo?
and Pinkman. How are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling after that wonderful overtime match?
What a
Some
time
great
to be
game,
alive.
great game, I'd say. Great match.
Yeah.
GG, well played.
Wish it went to the third, but, you know, just didn't quite get there in the end.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. You guys definitely put on a strong showing. I thought you might have even had them on Star as well. It felt like you guys definitely had the upper hand for most of it. How'd you feel?
We're all working good together, so that's all good.
Yeah. And how'd you feel your partnership with Balakwa went this season as a whole? I believe Asby was telling me that you guys played together last season. Is that right?
That is incorrect. I
Cool,
don't
thanks,
remember who I played with last season.
Did you play with him ever previously?
Squash, yeah, Squash last season.
Yeah.
So Bill and me play very similar play styles, so it's kind of hard working together. But I think we still did very good because of that.
Yeah. And obviously, Acti was in hospital, unfortunately. Condolences to him. So, is he passing away, Pink? Is that the information we have?
Oh, maybe now.
Yeah, fingers crossed. How do you
days.
think your team went, Pink? Obviously, just sneaking into the finals in the final week. You come here and you put on a nice performance against a strong EMILIA CLARKE team. How do you think you guys went tonight?
Yeah, I think it sums up our season. Like, we're doing just enough. Like, we're managing to win. We're not doing it in the most convincing fashions, but if we can just stop making dumb mistakes, really. Like, we're playing good in patches, but we're struggling to really maintain it over both halves, all games. Like, yeah.
And just a moment for your individual performance. How do you think you've gone individually this season? You've mentioned previously you're not so happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I played better tonight, definitely, compared to the rest of the season.
So. I thought A did everything tonight.
I mean, I actually got 2 caps in one half. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, I mean, it does help playing with A. Like, I don't have to do that much at times.
Yeah, well, you really stay true to that. You mentioned earlier that you're doing, or you think you're doing just enough to scrape through. Do you think you'll be able to do just enough next weekend against a strong Nuggets in Paris side?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
They're on the decline over the last couple of weeks. Like, if they play how they did last week, I think we'll be fine.
Very cool. Very cool. Any final questions or final statements?
Thank you for coming and Vin for streaming. You guys are awesome. And tune in next week because we have. Wait, have you already talked about that? I went away for a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. Next week, NIP versus PINKSMEN. That should be good if NIP actually fucking try or something. Because they were absolutely garbage on Monday.
Can we organise a time for the maps now if both captains are on? Nuga isn't in here.
Yeah, I'll talk to him tonight. I guess it'll be tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's all good. Just let's try to get that done soon.
Yeah, sweet as.
All right, cool. Thank you, Azpilicueta, at times for joining us in the commentary box.
Apologies if I ruined the stream with my crappy microphone and internet. My bad.
Your mum keep coming in.
No, that was the best. That was the best part of the stream, Ducky. And thank you to Vin for streaming. Obviously, he always puts on a wonderful show. So, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Alfie, for coming as well.
Yeah, thanks for streaming, Vin.
No worries.
That was a really good game, guys, from both teams.
Why do we fix that?